The 2S38 is a 10.3 rank 7 Russian premium. It's available to purchase for 9,270 Golden Eagles, and it is probably the most controversial premium War Thunder has. Players either love this thing to death or they hate it and will completely not play against it at 10.3 for that reason. The 2S38 is a little bit absurd due to the outfitting of a very powerful cannon that can fire a APFDS, APHE, and even proximity rounds. Originally designed as a technology demonstrator, the 2S38 was chosen as a possible replacement for the 2S6 Tunguska, adopted in the 1980s. The vehicle was based on the BMP-3 platform, but fitted with the equipment and armament to lock and engage low-flying aircraft like helicopters, CAS, or even large caliber rockets and missiles. It has 3 crew members, and it has a remote-controlled turret for its 57mm cannon, and it is actually just now, as of 2020, slowly being adopted into the Russian military. So it's actually a fairly new system despite being in the game for several years now. And what really makes it so broken in War Thunder was prior to about, I think it's been about 6 months. 6 months ago, Gaijin finally updated IFB's actual not crew replenishment, but actual damage models for infantry fighting vehicles, because prior to that, the 2S38, it was very, very hard to kill. Dart would go right through it. Unless you had some sort of filler round, you weren't going to end up killing it. And that made it very frustrating to play against it. Now it has an updated damage model. It's fairly easier to kill, especially when aiming for ammo, with how the turret baskets and how the Russian auto reloaders have been reworked over time nowadays. But it's still highly, survivable against small arms. If you don't aim properly, it will end up living. It just has a lot more likely to get damaged now. Another thing that people really find frustrating about it is its super fast reloading. Because you pair this with, a really good APFDS round and proximity to take out helicopters and aircraft, you have a vehicle that can pretty much do anything it needs to do. You have a good top speed, you have a great 57mm cannon, you can pen almost anything, and if you can't pen it frontally, you can take out its gun and flank it with your speed. You get access to thermals, you get access to smoke grenades, and you get access to a drone, which is something I wanted to talk about, because with the recent changes to drones as of last major update, you are able to actually fly around and then switch your camera to where you can actually view your drone in the bottom right of your screen where your map would normally be, without actually being in the drone. So the 2S38 just has a whole nother weapon to its already pre-existing multiple weapons. And I think another big reason why this premium is so controversial is really, like I said, was saying with the damage models, was that Gaijin kind of just blatantly ignored this for so long. Like, this vehicle is still pretty much on par or just blatantly better than the RDF LT, which is the American equivalent to the 2S38, which is an 11, I believe it's 11.7, an 11.7 premium tank. And the 2S38 is 10.3 while being either on par or just simply better than it. So that's definitely a big reason why a lot of players strongly dislike the 2S38. I personally was amongst those players who found it mildly annoying to go up against until I purchased the vehicle, actually not even that long ago. I had finished the Russian tech tree, had some extra GE, and said, hey, why not, let's get it and try it out and see, what the thoughts are. And my honest opinion on it is I do indeed really like the vehicle. It's fun to use, but it's definitely one of those vehicles that it is not fun to play against. I don't like playing against 2S38s, because like I said, they have good survivability, and they're actually able to, to maneuver. It's an IFB. It's an infantry fighting vehicle. It has the ability to be nimble, to move, get to new firing positions. To after engaging a tank, just move around. And if you have a really smart 2S38 player, your team's going to be in trouble. Like, keep in mind, this vehicle can see as low as 9.3, and if you get into a 9.3 down tier going up against a 2S38, there's a lot of things that are going to go wrong for you. I mean, you have a tank that has Generation 2 thermals, has Generation 2 on the drone. It has access, especially helicopters are something that this vehicle can absolutely dismantle, because your proxy round does not have any sort of tracer in it. So unless you see the vehicle fire its dart, or actually see the prox or see it firing at you, you're never going to even know the proxy is anywhere near you until you either just blow up or it whistles past you, which is inevitably rare. And another thing that no one actually talks about with the 2S38 is the access to the APHE round. And that round is actually really, really good at taking out light vehicles, if you, or even the side of MBTs. Because like I said, you know, not every IFE in game has gotten an updated damage model like the 2S38 does. And so one of the things that made the 2S38 so frustrating was that certain parts of either the engine or certain parts, unless you were getting ammo, the 2S38 was just going to live. It wasn't going to actually kill the vehicle. But, you know, with vehicles that maybe don't have that updated damage model, the APHE is going to be able to kill it, especially from the side. And then your proxy round is also able to do that. Same thing with light vehicles especially. And you can also cupola shot MBTs if you really needed to. I believe your ammo count is somewhere around like 200. So you're able to actually bring quite a bit of ammo, which is definitely very, very nice. I personally really like it. Another thing you have is you do have access to a laser warning system and self-entrenching equipment. So you can actually entrench yourself if you really wanted to, but the big thing of this vehicle is actually being able to be mobile and move around the map, so you maybe don't want to use that too often. And then you also are amphibious with a top speed of 70 kilometers forward and 20 kilometers backwards. You have access to a laser rangefinder and optical detection, so I really don't know what more there is to this vehicle. I mean, there's a lot of it that's very nice. Your reload is half a second, in case you guys were wondering if you haven't played the vehicle. And so there's really not a whole more to talk about. I just want to know what your thoughts are down below in the comments on the 2S38. Do you think it's broken? Do you think it's balanced? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in a later video.